I'm literally a genius. So today, I want to look cute, so I'm gonna do my makeup. But we're gonna kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Okay, I don't like that saying. We're gonna feed 2 birds with 1 stone. I saw that on PETA. Because I really don't like that saying, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Like, first of all, I don't want to kill any birds. And second of all, like, just, can you imagine, like, throwing 1 stone and, like, 2, okay. Let me start. So, it's gonna be like a chit-chat, get ready with me, I guess. I don't know, because I'm just gonna get ready, and then I'm gonna fucking talk to the camera, and we're gonna make a video out of this. Because, I don't know, I just really wanna make some content right now. I miss it, and I'm bored. Let's see. I wanted to make a conspiracy video about Michael Jackson. I researched it for my communication class because I had to do a speech about anything. And I decided to do a conspiracy theory since that's like more interesting to research, I guess. And I did it over Michael Jackson's death. And I found out a lot of shit. Basically, the Illuminati killed Michael Jackson. The Illuminati killed Michael Jackson. But you can't tell anyone because not even bullshitting. Why am I fucking starting with my foundation? Okay. Not even bullshitting, when I was researching this, it took me like 4 days to like complete my full research on this, I guess. Throughout those days, anytime I would go out, there would be a fucking Michael Jackson song playing. I would go to the gym, it would be playing in the background. I'd go out to eat, it would be playing in the background. I was like, oh my god, the Illuminati are after me. I found out their secret, now they're gonna fucking kill me. But, so yeah. After I tell you this, if you hear a Michael Jackson song all of a fucking sudden, don't be scared. It's just the Illuminati checking up on you. I have like really shitty brows, so do not take any brow advice from me. And you probably have better brows than me already. It's like, I have 2 major problems with this. First of all, they're shaped like shit, and then second of all, I shaped them like shit. So, it just doesn't really work out at the end. Okay, so, should I talk about the conspiracy theory or not? It's because it's like a lot to talk about. Shit. And then if I like talk about that for the whole video and then I fuck up, then it's like I'm not gonna have any content. Should we just try it? Okay. Okay, how am I gonna... Should I take my notes out? I have like notes because like I said, I gave an actual speech on this, so I have actual notes and actual evidence. I just keep taking randoms. I just took out a lip pencil. For what? Okay, let's start. So it all starts when Michael Jackson is basically a fucking baby in the Jackson 5. As you know, he was the lead singer of the Jackson 5, and so he got most of the pressure from their father, Joe Jackson. Joe Jackson was in charge of them. Obviously, they're little kids, so they're not gonna, like, put themselves out on the industry by themselves and shit. So he was basically their manager. He was super strict on the kids, on all 5 of them. They would basically get home from school, and they weren't allowed to, like, play with other kids or, like, chill. No. They would get home from school and have 5-hour rehearsals every day. And if they would mess up during the rehearsal, he would, like, whoop their fucking ass. And, like, bad, like, Michael Jackson's mother even came out in an interview and was like, I sometimes thought that he was gonna kill them with how bad he was like beating them, you know? And Michael Jackson got the worst of it because he was the lead singer. So if he would mess up a note or a dance step, then it was over for him. Another big thing that affected Michael Jackson when he was like younger, is this better? Was like the psychological abuse that Joe Jackson placed on him. This brush was dirty and I just... Okay. He would bully him for his big nose. He would even call him like Big Nose and shit. And to you and me, that's like not a big deal. But to a little kid, like that kind of hit him a lot, I guess. And it hit him so... It like affected him so much that when he was like in his teen years, he would talk like this, as if he was like smelling his fingers or something. And some of the people he worked with later on would even call him like smelly fingers or something like that, because of like the tic he had developed to cover his nose because his father had made him so like self-conscious of it. it was rumored that Joe Jackson did like worse shit, like sexually abuse his children and all that stuff, but there was never any evidence found, like, so I'm not gonna like go too deep into that. But basically he was a really shitty father, and Michael Jackson was fucked up by that, like ever since he was a little kid. So we can see why he got like all the facial reconstruction he got, because he basically was not happy with the way he looked ever since he was a little kid. Moving on, like past it, down his life, he did a Pepsi commercial. First, Michael Jackson didn't even want to do this. I don't know why he didn't want to do this, but I think he like just wasn't feeling it or something. But they convinced him. They were like, look, it'll be good for us, like just do it. And he was like, fine. So they go to record the Pepsi commercial, and a light from the studio, like the studio lights, falls on Michael Jackson's head, and it like obviously explodes, and it actually sets his hair on fire. And he you can see him walking out with like a huge bald spot right here. And it's said that ever since then he like he hurt his actual scalp, so hair was never able to grow back out from there since it was such a big burn. So throughout his life he actually wore a wig. But the most important thing about the Pepsi commercial is that that's what got him addicted to painkillers. So like those are two major points, his father and then the Pepsi commercial, right? Michael Jackson died in the middle of his rehearsals for the This Is It tour. It was a 50-show tour that he promised his fans. He was 50 years old, so he was going to do 50 shows. And he had been gone for about 10 years because of a bunch of stuff that happened like in the late 90s. So he basically disappeared for a while. And then 2000, fuck, I kind of need my notes. I don't know the exact date when he announced that he was coming back, but he basically announced that he was going to do 50 shows for his fans, like one last time. This is it. And that was going to be his last ever tour. And he was doing it because he was broke as shit, sis. Like, he was in major debt. He was in debt due to like all the surgeries he had gotten. His house, his mansion was called Neverland, and that mansion had a zoo. It had like workers everywhere. The gardens were huge. I mean, it was just enormous, you know? So that was a lot of money. He had a lot of medication he was paying for, because Michael Jackson at this point of his life, at 50 years old, was addicted to more than just painkillers. He was addicted to harder drugs that obviously were more costly, and also he paid so many dollars to 4 families that accused him of sexually abusing their children. And he was not a sexual predator. Like, there was never any evidence found against him that he actually molested kids and stuff. But these 4 families were basically trying to scam him. They all used the same lawyers. They all used the same sort of like evidence and little story and stuff. And like, you could tell they were just trying to win a fake case in order to get money from Michael Jackson, you know? Michael Jackson was like, I'm not guilty, y'all can do whatever you want, you can search my home. He even let people photograph his naked body, because one of the little boys was saying how like, oh, Michael like molested him. He described Michael's penis in like this thing, so they were like, well, I guess there's only one way to find out if he's actually like for real or not. He was like, fine, I'll do it. If it's gonna prove my innocence, I'll do it. And he did it, and the pictures did not match the description. They found nothing in his home that would lead them to believe that he was a molester. And Michael was just not like that. Like, his friends and family were just like, are y'all serious right now? Michael Jackson loved children. His mansion was literally called a Neverland for children. Like, you know, Peter Pan, Neverland, yeah. And the reason he was so kind to children was because he had such a shitty childhood. And in many interviews he was like, yeah, like, I mean, people say I'm a molester, but like, just because I hang out with kids all the time and I love kids. And he would even invite them to his mansion so they could play with the animals in the zoo. And he even had like a Ferris wheel and stuff like that, so they would come play at his mansion and stuff. And they were like, people just think that since I hang out with kids, I'm a molester. But like, when you hang out with kids, the only option is not to molest them. You can just hang out with them, you know? And the reason that he was so kind with kids is because he had a shitty childhood. Like, he would always say, I enjoy watching them play because it's like, it's like they're playing for me, like, you know, it's like I never got to experience my childhood, so I'm experiencing it through them type shit. It was weird, but regardless, he never molested them. So yeah, he was in debt because of all that bullshit, all them court cases, all his addictions and stuff like that. And so he had to do all those shows to get the money back and not lose his home, not be homeless. His kids would be homeless, all that stuff, you know? So he's rehearsing for the shows. During these rehearsals, Michael was like not... So basically, Michael did all these shows because of money, not because he was actually able to do shows. And the people close to him could see that he was not in the state to perform 50 shows, let alone like one. He was in such a bad mental and physical condition. He's 50 years old at this time, so he's not like super old, like he can't do shit, but he is kind of up there, you know? But he had like a lot of injuries because of work, like in a lot of concerts he would go crazy and like jump off of shit or like have shit come down with him, and it wouldn't go well all the time. So he had some back, like I think it was arthritis, I think it said, because of like a fall that he had in the middle of a concert, and apparently he just got up, kept singing, but after the concert he had to be like hospitalized because it was so bad, like his back was super bad. Then he also had vitiligo, which is a skin condition where you have like lighter skin patches, which is why people say like his skin turned white, like you know how Michael Jackson was black and then he turned white. He claimed that it was because of the vitiligo, that like it took over his whole body, but it was actually found that he used a bleaching cream because he did have spots like all over his arm, but like he wanted it to all be even. So he said that he would just use makeup to lighten it all up and make it all match, but in his autopsy, once he did die, they did find traces of like a bleaching cream in his skin. So yeah, he did bleach his skin. And he had a wig. So yeah. We never found that out until his autopsy, like when literally they were like, oh yeah, he did bleach his skin and that's a wig. And he didn't have a nose. Like this was just like a prosthetic. It could fall off. That's why he had to be in the cold all the time. Like if it wasn't cold, it would just fall off because all the surgeries he got, it just wasn't holding on anymore. Like his fucking nose was just falling. That's crazy. Oh god, my camera is dying. He had vitiligo. What else did he have? He had an autoimmune disease, so it's like his cells are bad, like there's nothing you can do about it. You can just control it or whatever. I think it was in his lungs. Yeah, it's like the cells in his lungs were doing something. Fuck, I really should take out my notes, but I have no clue where they're at. But like, it's not that important. Basically, he had some shit in his lungs that could not be fixed, and he had to take like stuff for it to regulate it. Okay.
Okay, I'm editing, and sorry I look like a wet dog. It fucking rained on me earlier. But I realized I forgot to mention the biggest thing he was suffering from at the time, and it's insomnia. This is why, like, insomnia is a big thing, and it'll make sense later on in the story, but insomnia is the reason that he found, like, the biggest drug that actually ended up killing him. And I don't know how I forgot to mention that, but yeah, insomnia. Okay, bye.
So Michael was like, and I could like go on. There's a huge list of all the things he was going through at this time, like physically. So he needed a lot of medication, but he didn't handle it well. Like he actually got addicted to his medication and like looked for stronger things. This shit turned off, and then while I waited for it to charge again, I finished my makeup, basically. But we can still chat about Michael Jackson. It's cool. I can still tell you. Okay, so where did we leave off? And I'm sorry if this is like not making sense. Like in my outline I had like clear notes and like it made sense and it flowed, but right now I'm just talking to you about it. So if it doesn't make sense, then fucking figure it out. Okay, I left off where basically he had a bunch of shit wrong with him. He was super addicted to like hardcore drugs. You had to have like a prescription for it and get it. So this is when Dr. Conrad Murray comes in. So he met this doctor like randomly one time in Las Vegas. One of his kids got influenza. He called up a doctor. Dr. Conrad Murray showed up, treated the influenza, all cool. But Michael Jackson started talking to him and he was like, hey, you got drugs, basically. And then Dr. Murray was like, yeah, but you got money, because Dr. Murray was not in a very good place financially. So he had four different kids by 3 different baby mamas. So you know that child support was crazy for him, okay? So he needed money. So he started working with Michael Jackson. He actually even stayed at the Jackson residency from Monday through Saturday because Michael couldn't sleep without his drugs. So Michael was like, okay, fine, you'll work with me. I give you all this bank, and you just give me all the drugs that I want with nothing, like no, like without telling me shit, basically. And they were like, yes, partners. Because the drug that Michael really wanted was Propofol. Propofol was referred to as his milk to get him to go to sleep. Propofol is literally used to put you under surgery, like big surgery. You cannot go under Propofol without having like a bunch of shit attached to your heart to make sure you're still breathing. A bunch of shit, like someone has to actually watch you throughout the whole surgery to make sure that you don't go into cardiac arrest, because it's so strong. And Propofol has to be treated at a hospital because if anything happens, like a cardiac arrest, then you're already at the hospital to like take care of it, you know? And Murray was just administering Propofol to him with nothing without managing his heartbeat, without managing his blood pressure, like nothing. He would just drip it in his IV bag and let him go to sleep, and then that's it. And Michael wasn't even getting sleep, because the thing is with Propofol, I just remembered I wanted to add highlight. So the thing is that with Propofol, you don't get any REM sleep. You basically just pass the fuck out and wake up whenever the drug runs out. So Propofol was mainly used during these days that Michael was rehearsing for the This Is It tour, because obviously he needed sleep to like then show up to the arena and rehearse, you know? But people were noticing that as time passed by and like as more rehearsals passed by, Michael was just getting worse. Like he would always be cold. He would be shivering and like tweaking, basically. Like he would walk like all like fucking weird. He would always have to be wrapped up in like a huge blanket because of how cold he was. His dancing was obviously not good. He was like irritable. He was late to big meetings. He was just not doing well. And it was because he did not get any REM sleep for about... This is the 3rd time my camera has fucking died. Bitch, I forgot where we were. It's been like 30 minutes. Okay. Let's see. People started noticing that Michael was not okay. Like, he was trembling, he was getting late to meetings, he was not doing well in rehearsals. So they had a talk with Michael, and they were like, hey, you either get your shit together or we pull the plug. Sorry, it's just, I think that this is how like fancy people talk, you know, like Michael. Okay, anyways, they were like, you either get your shit together or the show is not happening. And Michael was like, well, the show needs to happen because I need fucking money. So they were like, well, then get your shit together. So then Michael was like, okay, fine. Basically this drug, like every drug he was on was to calm his nerves, to calm his pain mostly, and to just, you know, get him high. And it was to sleep. So most of his drugs were like calming down drugs, you know. And then this, he quit all that because he was like, it's rehearsal time, I can't be on these drugs anymore. And he replaced them all by this one drug that basically does the opposite. It gives you like this fake adrenaline. His body went into shock because obviously he quit all those drugs he was doing before. You can't just quit all of them in a, like all of a sudden. You have to slowly lower your dosage and get your body off of those drugs. But he didn't do that, he just quit all of them. And he replaced it by this new drug that gave him adrenaline, and his managers were like super fucking happy. They were like, they thought the old Michael was back, right? Well, that night he couldn't sleep for shit, so he was like, fine, I'll just go back on the Propofol because like I really can't, this is the one drug that I can't quit, Propofol. He tells Dr. Conrad Murray, give me my milk, I want to sleep. Dr. Conrad Murray puts it on the IV thingy, it drips down into him, and Michael Jackson dies. He died of a cardiac arrest, that's what it said on his autopsy. Dr. Conrad Murray states that he went into the room, gave him his drugs, left for about 15 minutes, and then when he came back he saw Michael was unconscious. He ended up being charged for involuntary manslaughter, and he served 2 out of 4 years in jail. They gave him 4 years, but he got out for like good behavior after 2 years. So they charged him with that because he was a bad doctor. And you know, we can't fully blame him because then again Michael Jackson paid him to give them those drugs. But as a doctor, you're supposed to, like, you have a license to give care to people, not to like fucking kill them. So yeah, he was charged with that. But LaToya, which is Michael Jackson's sister, always, like after Michael died, went on several platforms and several interviews saying that she knew that although Dr. Conrad Murray was like at fault for Michael Jackson's death, he knew that he was the fall guy for them. She always referred to whoever she was referring to as them or they, and she was like, they will pay for what they done, they know what they did, he was just a fall guy for them and shit. So people speculate that them was referring to the music industry, which leads me to my second point, and that is that the music industry probably killed Michael Jackson in order to silence him, because Michael Jackson was just a bold son of a bitch. Like, he did not give a fuck. If he had an issue with someone, he would say it anywhere. Like, he even went on a concert and talked about the Sony music industry, that they were cheating him out of things, that they were treating him unfairly, just a bunch of things. Like, in the middle of a concert, right, like in between songs, he was like, I just want to talk about why I am opening my own what's it called, music industry now. That's why he founded MJJ Productions, because he was fucking tired of the music industry, of working with Sony and stuff. So he was just like, fuck that, I'm out, I'm gonna make my own and I'm gonna work for myself. So he announced this in the middle of a concert, but he didn't just announce it and move on. He announced it and he stated facts on why Sony industry was trash and all this, and obviously the industry was like, the fuck, bro, like, you didn't have to expose us in front of a concert like that. But he didn't stop there. He exposed them everywhere. Like, in interviews, if it came up, he would just talk about it. And then Michael Jackson actually started getting scared because he would expose them so much, and he like started getting death threats, apparently. He wrote in his journal that he knew that they were after him and his music catalog. If you didn't know this, Michael Jackson would release albums, but he, like, for every album he released, there is like 40 or 50 unreleased songs that didn't make it into the album. So Michael Jackson has a bunch of pre-recorded songs right now that were never released to the public because he just pre-recorded them, and then out of all those songs he would choose the best ones for his album or whatever. That's why Drake has like a little snippet of Michael Jackson singing, maybe, because he probably paid for a little part of like an old song of, I don't know, that's just what I think. But Michael Jackson had a bunch of fucking unreleased music, and he thinks that they were after him and his music catalog. So he started getting subtle with like exposing them because he obviously got kind of scared. So in an interview with Oprah, you can see him like throwing subtle hints of like the music industry, and then they literally cut him off with a smoke alarm. Like, Oprah says that, like, he's talking, right, and an alarm starts going off, and he's like he's so pissed. He's like, what the fuck? And they cut to break. Oprah's like, oh my god, I don't know what's going on. And then when they come back, she's like, oh, it's because all the lights in the studio created like a little fire alarm. Like, yeah, right, you're recording that studio every day, and then while he was talking about the music industry, that shit goes off. The Illuminati was trying to silence Michael Jackson right then. So there's like a bunch of evidence of him just like exposing them. Even in one of his songs, like, They Don't Really Care About Us. Y'all know that song? Yeah. He's talking about the music industry, and I even believe, like, you remember all those court cases he was accused of, like, of molesting kids and stuff? I even believe that, like, if the music industry was behind it, then the music industry kind of like created that drama of the court cases to kind of silence Michael up, because it kind of did work. After all those court cases, he he like left for 10 years almost, and because things were just not going well with him. Like the media was obviously fucking talking shit about him, and everyone was like kind of like freaked out about like him being a child molester and stuff. So if the music industry was behind like shutting him up, then the court cases did it. And it kind of makes sense because they used like in those court cases, big lawyers were used, and they pulled big ropes. They still weren't able to win, but those families couldn't afford lawyers like that. So I think that the music industry was also behind those court cases. But anyways, the final piece of evidence for the music industry killing Michael Jackson is that they were the ones that actually paid Dr. Conrad Murray. Like Michael Jackson convinced his managers to hire Murray, and then like it's believed that like after that they used Murray to their advantage to like kind of like kill him through medical practices. That's why LaToya also kind of said they did it and he was their fall boy, you know? So it kind of all like mixes in together. And then the final like belief that I have through my research is that Michael Jackson actually committed suicide. He was in a lot of physical pain, a lot of emotional pain, that like I said, and I feel like he didn't do it purposefully, but like he needed Propofol, and you know how I said Dr. Conrad Murray left the room? I think that like maybe he even Dr. Conrad Murray says this in some of his statements. He believes that when he left the room, Michael Jackson like dripped a little bit more into his system to sleep because of like maybe the dosage that he gave him wasn't enough. So Dr. Conrad Murray believes that once he left the room, Michael gave himself more drugs, which caused the overdose, which caused his death. So that's like the last little evidence that like, so it could be the doctor, the music industry, or himself. But I feel like it was a little bit of all three. It's kind of weird that Michael was so like, Michael and LaToya blamed it so hard on like them and they, the music industry, you know? So yeah, basically there's no like clear conclusion into this. Like Dr. Murray was charged guilty for involuntary manslaughter, but then other than that, no one really knows how he died. Like he died because of Propofol, but then it's like, it's just weird. It's just really weird. I don't know. Michael Jackson, like, the reason I researched on him was because he is like such an amazing artist to me. Even up to this day, I'm like amazed at his dancing and his music and just his mind, you know? It's so sad that he died so young, because I feel like he could have given us so much more, so many more bops, you know? But I mean, he has all that pre-recorded shit, so Jackson family, please release that. Please release that. I really like doing conspiracy theories, so if y'all have any conspiracy theories that I should like look into or research and talk about, then I will. And then I'll actually like bring notes, because I was just too lazy to like take out my notes that I had for this one. But it was like a chit chat, get ready with me. So you know, we don't need facts, we don't need, it's just chit chat, okay? Anyways, thank you for watching. Bye.